Listen closely, because this isn't the Black Adam you think you know. Not the one from the movie. Not the antihero with a tragic past. Not the misunderstood warrior fighting for a lost kingdom. No, this is the real story. The one the ancient scribes buried. The one the wizards feared. The one that shows Black Adam was never meant to be a hero or a villain, but something far more dangerous. A force of destiny. A weapon forged by pain. And a ruler shaped by a single, brutal truth. Power always demands a price. If you love deep comic lore, dark twists, and hidden origins, hit that subscribe button, because today, we're diving into the untold past of Kahndaq's mightiest son. A past far older, far darker, and far more explosive than any film has ever hinted. Kahndaq. Centuries before capes, aliens, or Justice Leagues, it was a shimmering jewel in the desert. A kingdom bursting with culture, scholars, and innovation. A place so advanced that outsiders thought it was blessed by the gods themselves. But kingdoms attract predators, and Kahndaq was surrounded by them. Border tribes, warlords, conquerors hunting for slaves, empires hungry for its riches. Every day was a war for survival. And in the middle of this hostile world stood a young, determined prince named Teth-Adam, a boy who watched his people suffer and swore he'd end their misery one day. Not with diplomacy, not with alliances, but with power. Real power. The kind only gods possessed. His father, the royal advisor Ramses, believed in patience. He told Adam that the throne demanded wisdom, restraint, and humility. Adam believed in none of that. He wanted justice. He wanted freedom. He wanted strength so absolute that no enemy would ever breathe against his kingdom again. And he was willing to do anything to get it. But here's the part most stories skip. Teth-Adam was not chosen by fate. He was not chosen by destiny. He was not chosen by the wizard. He forced himself into the god's attention. From childhood, Adam was obsessed with ancient texts, scrolls whispering of the Council of Wizards, cosmic beings who granted power to champions across the ages. But buried within those texts was a forbidden secret, a ritual, a way to call upon the wizards, a way to demand their judgment, a way to earn their lightning. It wasn't meant for mortals. It wasn't meant for anyone. But Adam tried anyway, night after night, alone in the stone ruins beneath the palace, reaching out to cosmic beings who had no interest in mortal kings. And for years, nothing happened. Not a spark, not a whisper, not a flicker of magic. Until the night Kahndaq burned. The attack came at dawn. Not an invasion, not a war, a slaughter. A foreign army marched into the city with one goal, to break the royal line and enslave the rest. Buildings collapsed. Streets ran red. The palace walls shattered under fire and steel. Adam fought with everything he had, but he was still just flesh and bone. His father, Ramses, fell protecting civilians. His younger cousin Amon was taken captive, and Adam himself was beaten, chained, and dragged through the sand like a trophy. That night changed him forever. It wasn't just the defeat. It wasn't even the deaths. It was the feeling of helplessness, the same helplessness he'd sworn he would destroy. So Adam did something reckless, something desperate, something no mortal had attempted in centuries. He spoke the ancient ritual one last time, but this time, he did it with fury behind every word, with grief burning in his chest, with a broken heart that demanded divine attention. And the universe answered. A blinding storm of symbols appeared before him, a gate of pure, cosmic magic. The ground trembled. His chains cracked. Time itself froze. And from the glowing portal stepped the Council of Wizards, led by the one who would one day choose Billy Batson. They studied Adam. Not with pity, not with warmth, but with calculation. The wizards had seen countless men like him, warriors destroyed by pain, leaders blinded by rage, mortals who begged for power to rewrite their fate. Most were unworthy, but Adam was different. His rage wasn't selfish. His pain wasn't personal. It was tied to an entire kingdom, a people broken by cruelty, a land begging for a protector. The wizards saw what Adam could become, a savior, a champion, a weapon, or something much worse. Still, the ritual had been invoked. The law had to be honored. So the wizard offered Adam a choice: Speak the word, and become my champion. Adam didn't hesitate. He didn't breathe. He didn't blink. He spoke the word that would define his destiny. Shazam. Lightning erupted like a divine explosion. His chains disintegrated. His wounds vanished. His body transformed into a powerhouse of godly strength. But here's the twist most people never hear. The power wasn't meant only for him. Not yet. The wizard had also seen potential in young Amon, Adam's captive cousin, a boy with a pure heart, a boy who believed in mercy, a boy who wanted peace, not revenge. The wizard intended for both of them to share the power. A dual legacy, one champion fueled by hope, and the other by resolve. But fate, as always, had its own plans. Adam rescued Amon from captivity with effortless strength, tearing through armies like sand in the wind. But when Amon suggested using their power to rebuild Kahndaq peacefully, Adam realized something horrifying. They were not the same. Adam wanted justice. Amon wanted forgiveness. Adam wanted enemies punished. Amon wanted harmony restored. Adam wanted a kingdom free of fear. Amon wanted a kingdom free of hate. Their visions clashed instantly. And in one brutal, irreversible moment, everything shattered. Because Adam made a choice that shaped his legacy forever. He chose power over purity. He chose vengeance over peace. He ended Amon's life before his cousin could speak the word again. And with Amon's death, Adam absorbed the full power of the champion, a force never meant for a single mortal. Not then. Not ever. The wizard felt the betrayal instantly. A cosmic scream echoed across the rock of eternity, a warning that the balance was broken and a new calamity had risen. A calamity named Teth-Adam. And Kahndaq? It got its protector, but not the one it expected. Adam didn't save his kingdom. He reshaped it. He burned invaders. He crushed armies. He toppled empires. He became a living storm of divine fury, and the people worshipped him. Because when your world has only known fear, the man who terrifies your enemies becomes your hero. But the wizard knew the truth. Adam wasn't a champion anymore. He was a warning, a cosmic imbalance, a threat to the order of magic itself. The wizard's only choice? Banish him. And so, in a moment of blinding light, Black Adam was sealed away, buried beneath ages of time. Not defeated, just waiting. Waiting for the world to become cruel enough that it needed him again. And when that day came, the universe would tremble. Because gods may choose champions, but champions choose their legacy. And Black Adam had chosen his. The moment Black Adam was sealed away, the world exhaled. The wizards thought the threat was gone. The kingdoms believed the storm had passed. History moved on, burying his name under myths and broken tablets. But legends don't die. They wait. And deep beneath the sands of Kahndaq, Teth-Adam waited with them. Centuries turned to dust. Empires rose and collapsed. Kings lived and died. The world forgot. But the earth remembered. The magic remembered. And most of all, the pain remembered. Because Adam wasn't trapped in silence. He was trapped with his thoughts, forced to relive every memory like a fresh wound. Amon's face. His father's death. The kingdom he failed to protect. The power that had consumed him. Some say imprisonment breaks a man. Adam wasn't just broken. He was reforged, sharpened, condensed into something colder, harder, and infinitely more dangerous. So when his prison cracked, when humans dug too deep, chasing their own greed, the world didn't just wake a warrior. It woke a calamity wearing a man's face. His return wasn't gentle. No golden light. No hopeful music. No heroic pose. Just raw, unfiltered rage. Lightning tore through ancient stone. Sand blasted into the sky like a volcanic eruption. And from that storm stepped Black Adam, silent, furious, and reborn. For the first time in centuries, he breathed free air. And the world trembled. Because Adam didn't crawl out confused or afraid. He came out angry. Angry that the world still suffered. Angry that innocents were still enslaved. Angry that Kahndaq, his Kahndaq, had fallen to corrupt leaders and foreign control. He saw everything he once fought against alive again. His worst nightmare had survived time. And that lit a fire inside him that no prison could extinguish. He didn't think. He acted. with the fury of a man wronged by the universe itself. Here's the truth most movies soften. Black Adam's violence wasn't random. It wasn't chaos. It wasn't evil for the sake of evil. It was purpose. Teth-Adam believed the world was built on exploitation, on domination, on the powerful feeding on the weak. And he was done watching. So when soldiers approached him with guns, shouting orders, Adam didn't hesitate. He didn't warn them. He didn't negotiate. He obliterated them. Because in his mind, they represented the same cruelty that destroyed his childhood kingdom. The same brutality that took him on. The same failure he swore would never happen again. He saw them as the next link in a long chain of oppression. And Adam's only mission was to break that chain. Permanently. But his awakening sent shockwaves across the world. Magical, political, cosmic. Everyone felt it. And that brings us to the moment things shifted from terrifying to inevitable. The Justice Society. A team built for diplomacy, order, and containment. Not wrath. Not gods. Not someone like Adam. But they tried anyway. Hawkman. Dr. Fate. Cyclone. Atom Smasher. Icons of discipline and restraint. On paper, they were perfect. In reality, they didn't stand a chance. The first clash was a spectacle the world wasn't ready for. Imagine a man who could break mountains meeting a team built to stop natural disasters, but not a living one. Every punch was a shockwave. Every hit tore through ancient structures. Every moment was a clash between two ideologies, not two power sets. The Justice Society fought to preserve balance. Adam fought to annihilate injustice. And here's the detail that changes everything. Black Adam was holding back. Because deep down, part of him still believed in something. Something fragile. Something he swore long ago. Something he never admitted, even to himself. Kahndaq deserved protection. When Dr. Fate, the oldest, wisest mystic on the planet, looked into Adam's future, he didn't see a villain. He saw a man drowning in grief. A man who carried centuries of guilt on his shoulders. A man who could have been the world's greatest savior, if he hadn't been forged in tragedy. Fate didn't see a monster. He saw a broken protector. And that changed everything. But destiny is cruel. Because the more Adam fought, the more the world resisted him. The more he tried to protect Kahndaq, the more external forces pushed back. And when the true villain, Ishmael, descendant of the ancient demon kings, rose to claim the power of Sabbac, everything spiraled into a new war. A war Adam never wanted. A war he blamed himself for. And then, Ammon came back. Not physically, not magically, a memory. A reminder of what Adam once destroyed. His cousin's final wish for peace echoed in his mind. And Adam realized something brutal. The world didn't fear him because of what he did. The world feared him because of what he could become. Ammon's ideals weren't just a dream. They were a warning. So Adam made the single most painful decision of his immortal life. He surrendered. He gave up the magic. He returned to mortal form. He allowed himself to be imprisoned again, not out of defeat, but out of fear. Fear of repeating the one act that had haunted him for centuries. The death of someone innocent. The death of someone he loved. The death that defined him. But destiny wasn't finished with him. Because Sabbac rose, Kahndaq fell into chaos. And the Justice Society needed the one person they swore to contain. Black Adam, the man of rage, was no longer enough. They needed the man who wanted redemption. So Adam reclaimed the lightning. Not for vengeance. Not for power. But for something more fragile, more honest, and more frightening. Responsibility. And the battle that followed wasn't just a fight between gods and demons. It was a confrontation between the man Adam was and the man he could become. He faced Sabbac with fury, yes, but also clarity. For the first time in centuries, his power wasn't fueled by grief. It was fueled by purpose. A deeper one. Protect Kahndaq. Honor Ammon. Break the cycle. End the suffering. And when Adam tore Sabbac apart with divine force, the world didn't see a tyrant. They saw a protector born from the ashes of tragedy. Not a hero. Not a villain. Something rarer. A man trying to rewrite his destiny in real time. And here's the final truth the comics reveal. Black Adam's origin isn't about revenge. It's about contradiction. He is rage born from compassion. power born from suffering, a savior created by loss, a warning to gods, a threat to tyrants, a guardian to the oppressed. The world may fear him, the wizards may regret him, but Kahndaq? Kahndaq sings his name, because Black Adam isn't its king. He is its promise, a promise that no empire will ever chain it again. And that is the true origin of Black Adam, not a movie script, not a softened tragedy, but the rise of an unforgivable champion who chose to protect a world that never protected him.